My name is Juan Miguel Padilla, and I'm going to do an interview to you. Your name, please.
My name is Violeta Perez. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Okay, the interview is about what was life when you were my age. So the first question is, what was life like for your parents and grandparents when they were your age?
Um, Life was very different because on that time there was no communication. Um, we're supposed to present too much respect to our parents instead of being having a very nice relationship with them. Most of the time we're supposed to be respecting, obeying, and keeping quiet almost all the time. So therefore there was not a good relationship. Like now you guys have a better relationship with your parents. But in my time that wasn't possible.
Okay. The second question is, what were they allowed to do? What were they not allowed to do?
As I told you, communication was not in well conditions. So really, I'm not. I don't have a good knowledge about what my parents were allowed to do. I'm going to tell you what I was allowed to do, just myself.
Okay.
I'm supposed to be responsible for my grades. I was responsible to help my mother on cleaning the house. My mother assigned us some areas to clean in the house, to help my mother with some laundry. Like I was in charge to keep my youngest brother laundry. Not all of that, but just the handkerchief, because on that time men used to have handkerchief all the time, socks, and underwears. That was my assignment.
And how many brothers did you have?
We were 3 girls and my brothers 3 brothers, three boys. So they match. My mother used to match 1 to 1. So I was in charge to keep my youngest brother laundry clean. And I used to help my mother in the kitchen, doing dishes, putting the dishes away. And besides that, my mother was expecting that I keep my grades really high. Besides that, I love dancing. That was my hobby. In order to be allowed to dance, to reattending my dance classes, I have to do all this stuff first. Something that I never was allowed to do is to get back from all my activities after 8 o'clock. Of course, when I was 16 years old, I met my husband, Santiago, and I'm going to share with you something really cute. One day, Santiago went to pick me up at the school. It was all the time that we see each other walking back to my house, and we spent some more minutes walking a little bit slowly to my house in order to talk a little bit more. When we reached my house, my mother was so disappointed because I was late to my house that she has a luggage at the door. And she said, that is your luggage. Pick it up and leave with him. So I was surprised. I said, Mom, it was some minutes, just some minutes. I'm not that late. Because my mother was fighting me from home. Because I was some minutes late. So now you can have an idea how strict my parents were.
Yes, some days ago I did something similar, but I took so many minutes in a store, taking copies of a thing that I have to do for a project, and I take 50 minutes later. So that wasn't good for me.
But I
But
bet the parents were concerned if something wrong happened to you. But in my case, my mother was offended.
yes,
That,
for those little minutes.
yes, they were two different feelings. Concerning, and my mother was offended.
Disappointed.
That the culture in that time was too different. They want to conserve the good quality or last name. You know, I was a lady, a girl, a virgin, though nobody can say that I come back late to my house. So that was something difficult at the time.
Yes.
That was my life.
Okay. Now let's go to the next question. That is, what did they want to be and do when they grew up? Or if you don't know that, or if you don't know that, you can answer me what you wanted to do or be when you were my age.
As I told you, my parents, we didn't have too much communication. They didn't attend the school. Probably my mother just attended the elementary school. And I think my father did so. So they didn't have too many dreams for the future, or they didn't share them with us. My father was a businessman. He owns shoe stores. He did very good, but he never shared nothing with us. As my dreams, I always want to become a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
I love to talk and talk and talk. And I always love to be the leader and fight for my arguments, for my ideas. I thought I would be a good lawyer, but later I decided to change and I said, no, I'm going to become a doctor. Suddenly, the economical situation in my house changed, and we become really poor. And a friend of mine told me, in your house, they cannot support you with any books or even money for paper or pencils. If you really want to study, you need to find that way that you can earn your own money soon, and then you can study to become a doctor. So what I did, I was thinking that the shortest career was to become a teacher, because it was just 3 years. And that's what I did. Not because really I love to be a teacher. At the beginning I didn't.
Because of the situation.
It was because of the economical situation. And at the same time, when I was studying, I started working. So I started working as a teacher assistant in a private kindergarten school. I remember that, I don't know for sure if they pay me $150 per month. No, dollars, no, excuse me,
Pesos.
pesos mexicanos per month. And with that money, I start saving money, paying for my own needs, because as I told you, my father didn't support me no more because the economic situation in my house was awful. So I pay for medicine, for outfits, even for one surgery, because I need to support myself.
Yes.
And after this, I never got the opportunity to get back to the university. I studied in the educational area. I met Santiago, and then we get married. When I got the opportunity to go back to the university was when we moved to United States. Here in the United States, in Las Vegas, New Mexico University is the place when I entered for the first time in my life to a university. Not before.
Not before. So the opportunities for education were little in that time.
Were so limited. But in that time when we were in Mexico, no. I just studied for a teacher, to become a teacher. But when I get married, when we moved to the United States,
Yes.
after all the problems that we have until we straight all our papers or legal situation, then I start getting back to the university. I achieved my goal, and it was to acquire the level of my education is a master in education, and that's what I have. I retired from my job with a master in education.
And you're proud of it.
I am. And I thank my husband, my kids, because they support me. Especially my husband and Jorge. When we were living in Española, the university was across the mountain in Las Vegas. We had to drive. And can you imagine the time of snowing season? It was after my regular school activities when we were driving to Las Vegas University. I took my classes, and then we came back to the school where we were living in Española, New Mexico. So that happened in agreement with a group of teachers. We were carpooling together to do this. But suddenly one day, it was just myself, the one who had to go to Las Vegas to take a test. And I was afraid to cross the mountain. So Jorge, my oldest kid, he drove me all the way to Las Vegas. And in the way back, it was a storm, a terrible snowing storm. We weren't able to see just half of
the
what
way.
I said, the finish of the car. It was completely white. They didn't allow us to see more of the road. We reached our home at 2 o'clock in the morning. It was hard.
Yes, I think so.
You said, yes, I feel so proud. I feel so proud of all the stuff
The
that
fort.
the Lord allowed me to achieve. It was done for my kids.
Okay, that's
I
good.
am
That's good. Okay. What was important for you or for your parents when you were my age?
Say it again, please.